So, good morning. I'm today out at Fort Steilacoom State Park. We are going to play the Rhododendron course today. I've actually never played this course before, so I'm kind of excited. From what I understand, it's actually a little bit more of an open course. I mean, as you have mentioned before, weak arm, probably not going to get there in the pars that are listed. Probably not going to be my greatest round, but I'm excited to have a shot at playing it and have some fun. I'm actually joined today by my friend Rachel, so you'll be seeing her shortly, and she'll be on mic as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So in case you're curious, Rachel's recently was in the hospital, so her throw is definitely not what it used to be. So we're gonna give her leeway on the throws. Just so you know, this hole is 326 feet according to the sign. It is curved to the left into the woods here, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw my streamline jet. See what I can do. First throw of the day, of course, right?
And there it goes.
That shouldn't be too bad.
Hey everybody, Rachel Zimmerman.
Not bad.
Ooh, that's not good.
All right, so it looks like both of us actually went out of bounds, me on my first shot and Rachel on her second. So Joy, starting off with, I don't know, 100-foot throw-in for par. Somehow I don't think that's happening. No? You don't think so?
I think it's going to be a bogey stroke, unfortunately.
You think it's a bogey?
I think it'll be a double bogey for me, so yeah.
Huh. I thought I had a chance.
Ah. I mean,
that was a pretty fun upshot, but not even close to basket.
yeah. So give the old putter throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Okay. I mean, it could have kicked worse. That was not too far off. Rachel, looks like you're, I don't know, you want to call that a tap in? That's only about 12 feet, 10, 12 feet, something like that.
Sounds about right.
What do we say, 25? Not 10.
Yeah, you're about 25 feet away.
I'm a little afraid of going way the heck down this road, though. But it won't happen if I actually sink it.
And what's to be afraid of? You know, the basket's right there. You just line it up and let go.
All right, so hole 2, we've got, I guess, 368-foot par 3. Yeah, I'm not getting 368 par 3. In fact, it's a, as Rachel was just saying, it's a nice pushing hyzer to the left up there. No, it's just a straight shot because I'm not getting 368. That was not the greatest shot. That was way too low. Oh, that looks a lot better than my throw. Get around it. Oh, it got around it. You sneaky devil.
And then you hit that. And then you hit the majority tree at the end.
You know what? You got around the trunk. I think that doesn't look too bad. I don't think you got back into the rough. All right, and just for your information, apparently audio routing is difficult. We just finally switched to the correct mics, so the audio quality hopefully is better now.
Yes, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Nice shot. Now that is a tap in. What do you think I left myself, Rachel? 45?
I'd almost go 50.
Yeah, what do you think my odds are in this? 5%?
I'll give you a little bit of play guy. We'll go 10%.
Oh man, you're generous. I don't think I got this. Yeah. I don't think that was even a 10%. Maybe 8. I think we'll go 8. All right, so we got hole 3 here. According to the sign, it's 343. Again, not getting there anyways. It's actually behind that big madrona tree back here. And by the way, I think we finally have the audio figured out. Hopefully it's working right. Rachel, is it working?
I think so.
All right, cool. But behind that madrona tree, all along this right side, behind this tree, all the way down is OB. So I don't even want to mess with that. I'm going to try throwing a forehand down over the lowest part, see if I can get it to hook back into the middle. We'll see how this goes. First forehand of the day. I don't know why I'm even bothering to start that far back. Oh no, that's going to hook OB. Come back.
Nope.
It's not coming back.
Nuh-uh. So that's an example of how not to throw that disc.
Oh, thanks, Rach. Thanks.
Just wanted to put that out there.
You're always so supportive.
I am.
I mean, I suppose you're going to try to say that's how you should throw it?
Yeah.
Ah.
That's how you do it right there. So this is definitely another destroyer shot for me. One of my favorite discs. So
you got a little uphill here too, so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a long putt. Maybe even an approach. That should do.
That's a good one.
That's 3 feet, 4 feet.
Okay, let's see if we can do a throw one here. No.
Layup. That's what you said, layup, right?
Yeah, said layup, yeah. Okay, so hole 4 is a 340-foot par 3. The basket is just up behind that fir tree that's directly in front of us. Basically a straight line laser shot. Let's see what we can do. That was not a laser.
Hey, you know what? It's in the fairway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw my jet again, see if I can actually, not go OB for once. Not a great throw, but
it's in the fairway.
It's in the fairway. Come on, get a long skip. Nice skip. That may have given you a putt. Hey, Rachel, guess what time it is?
Oh, it's the glitch time.
Oh my gosh. If I throw a harp instead.
Yeah, because that glitch don't turn.
That didn't work. There's no shot at this, Rachel.
You gotta show the people how it's done.
I'm not Simon. I can't air bounce this. I got not enough ceiling to go hyzer, and that is way too much anhyzer to make it in there. This is straight up a layup. See, even a layup, I was hitting branches. All right, so par 3, 420. This is like my least favorite kind of hole in more than one way. I grew up on woods golf. I'm not a fan of OB, just in general. Despite not because I threw OB already twice today, but this hole is an artificially difficult hole because of the OB. It's basically a long funnel, very narrow right here where we're throwing. It gets slowly wider the further out you go. 420, I'm not getting there, but I'm going to throw my insanity. See if I can actually keep it in bounds. That looks like a good shot.
That was pretty.
Okay, good for me, because it's in the fairway. All right, and if any of you are curious, Rachel doesn't do a run-up because, again, long hospital stay. It's just difficult for her right now. Oh, come on back. Come on back. Oh, you lucky dog.
So I'm going to break it out. My Leopard 3. Another one of my favorite discs to throw.
Okay, George. Watch out for that tree. All right. You know how it goes. Let's see how terrible my forehand is today. I gave myself a putt.
You did. You did.
An easy putt too.
One of my very first discs. Tony's very familiar with a good old Buzz GT.
Oh, I talked about that in my last video with the Buzz GT.
It's progress. I wish I hadn't rolled that way. Should have gave it a little more Anheuser.
Not a bad bid. Let's see if I can not be incompetent. Like that. As you can probably tell from the audio issues we've had, I've had more technical difficulties on this, including losing all of the footage for hole 6. Wonderful. All right, so we got our first par 4 here, 531 feet. Basket is very slightly left down here. Obviously the fence is OB on the left, but there is a stake line on the right side that's OB as well. Not a real narrow fairway. Basically just got to get it down there. That doesn't look too bad. And I'm up against the fence. Wonderful.
Here we go.
There you go, Rach. That should put you in the fairway. Oh, are you up against? No,
nope,
you're good.
I'm in there. And here we go.
There you go. All about position, right?
Okay.
Well, hopefully that's just an upshot and a putt. I'll tell you for one thing, setting up the tripod sit way easier out here than Van Z.
Well, yeah, because it's all flat ground out here for the most part. Oop, oop. Balance still isn't perfect. Here we go.
Do I try the forehand?
Yeah.
You think the forehand?
Yeah, I do, because that way you can swing in, and you have that berm for the backstop.
If I had any kind of accuracy.
I think, therefore I am.
And then I burn it into the ground. Oh, that was so close. Get in there. All right, we've got hole 8, par 3, 353. Yet another one that Rachel and I aren't reaching. Straight out there, big, huge cedar tree right in the middle. But it's just a basic swinging around the outside, no big deal. Worm burner. A lot of distance for a worm burner. That'll do.
Or stay away off to the side. That works.
So apparently this hole is actually an island hole. You probably can't see it on the camera, but 80 or 100 feet ahead of us is a line of stakes. And then there is a ring around the basket. Looks like my throw is short of the OB line, so I'm okay. But Rachel realistically is going to have to lay up in front of the OB and then go for it.
Yeah. Did I mention I hate island holes?
I feel like I've heard that from you before. All right, so it looks like I ended up about 30 feet short of the out of bounds line, which is pure luck since I didn't even know it was there. I'm gonna go with my interceptor, see if I can get this to just straight crash right there and not go anywhere. Perfect.
Nice shot.
Oh, get over.
Nope.
All right, so I offered to let Rachel play this as hazard due to her distance struggles recently, but she refused. She's stubborn, and so she's playing it from the OB line, and she's trying to hit the island.
Once more with feeling.
That should hit it. Nice shot, Rach. I'll use your lie.
I drained it with the destroyer. Okay, so we're on hole 9. It's par 3, 341. Bass is going to be down there behind that big old cedar tree. You can't even see it. But we're going to pipe it down the left side, down the right side here, and pray for rain.
Ooh, don't fall down, Rich.
And try to fall down.
And put yourself right behind that cedar. Oh, I fluffed the heck out of that. That just gently rose out of my hand. That's going right in the cedars. That's not going to be fun.
Okay, so let's try not to fall this time.
That should put you in great position.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. I can drain that. That's a tap in.
Maybe I try forehanding this.
Yep, that's a possibility. Just remember, if you throw it too hard.
That's ugly. There we go.
Nice drain. A reference anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to count it. You can
that's
just
what I do is I just go on. You just can pull up the data and then
copy it over.
Yep. Par 4, 526. All right. So hole 10. Welcome to the back 9. Par 4, 526. This actually reminds me a lot of what was that hole 4 or hole 5, the one that I said was a funnel. Except there's not OB stakes everywhere, and there's like an early tree to hit. But that's really the only difference. Skied it. Good thing there's no OB to hit.
And in case you missed it, vote for Bigfoot.
Bass Pro Shop, baby.
Okay.
Well, it was a worm burner, but at least it was straight.
Right in the middle, baby, all the way. Oh.
That was a lot of nose up.
No, that was a lot of early release.
This footing is not the best over here.
Mm-mm. Oh, once more with feeling.
And in case you were curious, the basket is, I don't know if you can see it yet, but it is right there. And we have a squirrel on the course. Hold play for the squirrel. No, I'm kidding. Go. That looks like a little better shot. Now watch, I'm going a longer disc on forehand. So watch me go long with the basket instead. That's not going to come out in time. Oh, I don't think I'm long, though. I think I'm in the circle. Doesn't like me either. All right, so at this point, we had complete failure of the audio equipment. So we're going to be doing voiceover for the rest of this. This is hole 11, 381 feet, par 3. We both end up just right in the fairway on this one, on the drive. Rachel is now trying to fight with getting under the branches here. Very low ceiling, had a little struggle with that. I got just ahead of that, so it wasn't as bad for me. But then, of course, I take my harp and I drive it straight into the ground. Now, on this approach, unfortunately, Rachel decided that she wanted to throw a disc right up into those branches. Didn't really get very far. And here's me trying to step putt outside my range. Again, didn't work out. So now we are on to hole 12. 423 foot par 3. Yeah, like I'm getting to there. Rachel is showing us how it's done just by putting it right in the middle of the fairway. And then me throwing my insanity and deciding that, way off to the left in that field is the right place to be. Rachel, again, showing us how to be right in the middle of the fairway. And then I actually had a decent upshot here. Except that was way too understable. If I'd thrown that same disc with something a little more overstable, probably would have been okay. And then Rachel just absolutely parked this shot. So, no problem for her. And here's me again, just outside the circle, missing a shot. So, moving on to hole 13, 357. Isn't that a gun? 357, par 3. Again, not getting there. So here's me. I actually had a pretty good drive on this one. Ended up right in the middle. And then Rachel, sticking with her standstill. She's sticking with it. Give her credit. And yet again, ends up pretty much in the middle. So it's working for her. Now, this basket is actually, you see those two trees there in the middle. This basket's actually right up underneath those trees. So a lot of low ceiling trying to get in there. And here's me trying to get in under that low ceiling. And there I throw the harp right into the ground again. It was a thing I was doing all day. And at that point, Rachel said she wanted to steal the glitch back from me. So she borrowed that and took a shot. And at that point, I was also asking her, why is she not bagging one of her other 3 glitches? She didn't have a good answer for it, so I think that's going to be in her bag going forward. All right, on to hole 14. 14 is 259 feet, par 3. It actually feels like something that's actually reachable for a change. And when I released that, I actually banged into one of the trees that I thought was right next to the basket, so I thought it was a great drive. Rachel ended up a little bit left here. But I thought that was a great drive, and then it turns out, when we got a little closer, the basket wasn't in the middle of those trees like I thought. It's 30 or 40 feet behind those trees, so my shot really wasn't as good as I thought. So now I'm trying to do a little bit of a putt approach. I knew I was getting that short, but it would give me an easy tap in. Rachel, on her second shot, actually ended up about 1.5 feet from out of bounds that we didn't even know was there. But the cool thing is, the first frame where we actually both got par, which was the best we did all day. So now we're on to hole 15, 320 foot par 3. Rachel putting it out there and me going really low again. I was having a lot of drives end up really low. Man, Rachel loves those Anheuser throws, and sometimes she gets them too low and drives them right into the ground. I thought that this was such a great shot with my gauge, swinging in from the right side, but then I ended up right on the outside of those trees, and it wasn't the greatest shot, actually. So here's me trying to sink the putt from circle's edge. To be honest, I forgot that I got that shot. I guess I got that one. All right, and that left me with a 3, and that left Rachel with a 4. So hole 16, 309 par 3. This one, when we first walked up to it, I didn't realize it was an island. And then I realized it was an island, so I was going to try to lay up short. And then I realized that the out of bounds out here is actually considered hazard, not out of bounds. So you don't have to come back. There's no drop zone, nothing like that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go for the island. And then I didn't make it. Rachel decided to lay up and then shoot for the island. And she didn't make it. So we end up both in hazard, pretty close to the same spot. So here was a bit of a spike hyzer I threw right into the green. Super easy putt from there. And Rachel had to outdo me even closer. So a couple tap ins. I end up with a 4 because of hazard. Rachel ends up with a 5 because of the hazard. All right, now hole 17, par 3, 370 feet. Again, there's no chance of getting there. So we're just both pumping it out. Rachel ended up throwing this low shot, got slightly on edge, and got a really long skip. And then I threw a really long shot, way harder, and ended up right next to her because mine just skidded to a stop. Now, of course, on this upshot, Rachel ends up slamming right into a tree. Didn't work out for her. And here I am getting under everything, basically, if I recall correctly, parking it. And here's Rachel deciding to hook it way off to the right. I think she might have forgot what hole we were on. I'm not real certain. She claims she was aiming for a practice basket that was about, 1,000 feet away. I don't know about that. But then she had a pretty good approach, pretty easy tap in from there. And on hole 17, with this putt, ended up that I got a 3, and she ended up with a 5. Moving on to hole 18, 497-foot par 4, which means you're only throwing 250-foot shots twice, which actually seemed, I don't know if reasonable is the right word for me, but it actually seemed doable. And that shot I made right there, I had some great distance, some great snap, and about 10 or 15 degrees further right than I meant to. Turned out I ended up about 1.5 foot inbounds. I didn't even know there was out of bounds over there. Rachel, on the other hand, is going up the left side, just chipping away, and I'll be honest, I know with all the struggles she's had recently, she was really just beat here, and she's just not throwing it well. She had a rough time getting out here. So she just basically chipped up this 500-foot hole. Right here, I was actually trying to go for the green. Managed to hit, probably can't see it in this video, but it managed to hit a high limb, and it knocked me way off to the left. So gave me about 60 or 70 feet to get in. Here's Rachel chipping away again. And with this throw, this is the last throw on video for me because I put it only about 4 feet away. And then poor Rachel tries to sink it from 40 feet, goes right into a hazard. So that's the last throw on this hole. Ends up with a 4 and an 8. And I guess the final thoughts on this one is this is a long course. This was rough to get through. But thanks for watching. Have a great day.